too stuffy in here. It's hot today. We've got the little air conditioner going, but Yvonne's wearing a jersey because she's a trooper. So I've got the Stanley Pup on the TV. I'm glad I'm muted. I don't know that there's an hour worth of material with the Stanley Pup. I don't think so. Yep. New jerseys for the Ducks and the Kings are coming out. It'll be fun being in Anaheim in August because I might get a look and I might be able to pick myself something up because we'll be in that area. So, you excited about the new Kings and Ducks jerseys?
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Hold on. I need to make this.
Kings are supposed to go back to like their 1990s type look, but it's a modernized version. And the Ducks, of course, are using the Mighty Ducks logo because it makes sense.
Both of those I like, so. Okay. Here we go. Hello, everybody. What is up with my hair? What? I don't know what's going on. I didn't look in the mirror when I put my hair back. I had to fix it from when I was doing the air conditioner because it was all, okay, there.
There you go. That's better.
No, I was just installing an air conditioner upstairs. So we've got big windows. So, I mean, it's only it's 26 out. So, toasty. What has caused the Brooks Bandits' dominance over Canadian junior hockey? What moves does... Okay, I don't have this big enough. I can't read this.
It's Okotoks, but I don't follow that enough to
letters.
Have an opinion. In fact, Brooks, that's Shorzy. That there's a Brit team from Brooks.
Oh, Lisa's on here. Hi, Lisa.
We haven't seen Lisa in forever.
I know, forever. All right. 84 in Sunrise.
Who's my favorite player of all time? Cliff Ronning. Small center that wasn't supposed to be what he became, and he proved all the doubters wrong. So
it's close to here. That'd be 24, so that's almost 80 in Fahrenheit. Almost.
It's 27 outside right now.
That's not what my phone
says.
26. Close enough.
No, it's too hot for a jersey for me, but
we are getting heat today.
It's going to be cooler tomorrow during the street hockey we've got planned for Coquitlam. So we could do a live stream from Coquitlam if we can get the Wi-Fi to work. You said we have the unlimited data now, we could live stream me wiping out during a game. That'd be great.
I haven't done a live stream during a meetup for
at least 5 years.
I was going to say probably 6 years since I did.
I'm not wearing a jersey, so you're in luck.
Live stream during a meetup. That's been a long time.
You're in luck. I don't have to worry about you clawing a jersey. Don't expect this all the time. Don't expect this all the time.
Do you think the NHL should have an outdoor game in Times Square if it can be done, or in front of Independence Hall in Philly?
I don't know that there's a way to make that work. It has to be in a football stadium. I mean, as great as it would be to have it wherever, kind of has to be in a football stadium. They like the 45,000 plus fans you can get in attendance for some of these. So, see, now you don't know how to feel because you got what you wanted right away. You didn't have to bug, so you don't know how you feel, do you?
Shout out to you doing a redux on NHL hockey history. It's how I found you 5+ years ago. But beyond that, I have to ask, especially with the WWE and TNA stuff recently, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
I think that in the event that this was Vince booking it, I think all the TNA wrestlers would get buried. I don't think they will. I think there's going to be some pretty strong consideration given to the TNA guys, and I don't see any reason why not to believe in any of the TNA guys, including Henry.
Bear does not have jerseys. Bear likes to destroy jerseys. She is the jersey destroyer.
See, I can carry her right now because I'm wearing a t-shirt, so I don't care that she's going to hold on for dear life. But when I'm wearing a jersey, it's not fun.
What are your favorite Debbie Drake's Hostess pastries? No,
Okay, the Debbie stuff's too sweet.
they're all gross. It's
I
all
was
icky.
I was a fan of wagon wheels back in the day. Now they're too small. Wagon wheels are much smaller than
And
they
the
were when I was a
chocolate tastes
kid.
like wax, and
And
nope,
they
all of it's
changed the
gross.
chocolate at one point. They downgraded the chocolate, made a big difference. I'm still sweaty for some reason. I stopped doing the treadmill 20 minutes ago, but I think I'm really warm.
I don't like most instant food. Do you like Donair? Who doesn't like Donair?
You're a bigger fan of Donair than I am.
True.
You're definitely bigger on Donair than I am. Oh,
It's true. Donair is great. They always have the little food trucks.
She nicked me on the way down.
Stuff. And the Donair truck that's here is fantastic.
Yeah, and that's why I don't carry it. Because, see, you scratched me when you jumped down. You see that?
Just got to launch off of it, yeah.
See? She scratched me on the way down. You going to kiss it better?
She didn't mean to.
Don't do that. It's dirty germs. Ew.
Have you let TEG outside recently?
He's the one that's in charge of the yard. That's why the grass looks like crap. Because TEG is the one that's in charge of the yard work. Terrible job. Like, you would think he did it blinded. Like that he did it in like the middle of the night with a blindfold on. Because the grass is just all patchy all over the place.
You're all patchy all over the place.
What? No, TEG was just awful with that. I have to go out and fix it.
I'm the one that does the yard, so
I got to mow the rest of it.
Oh, probably mow over my flowers.
Oh, there you go. Look, see, the Florida Panthers pup is pawing and smacking at one of the others and biting at the other one's face. Really getting into that Florida Panthers mice. Look at that. See?
Aw, cute puppies. Oh my goodness. What surface is that? Is that just like a gym?
Yeah, it's
floor?
not.
It's not ice.
Yeah, it's not ice.
But I can't tell what it is. Okay. How often do you mow your grass? Not very often.
Once every other month.
No. So we have a front yard that people can see, and I mow that when it's actually growing. But every week and a half, the backyard, not so much, because I don't care. And the rabbits like it. I think lawns that you have to mow all the time are so silly.
The Boston puppy had to go to the penalty box. Is that because he's from Boston? Because its story would definitely check out.
Have to ask, since the 2002 Wings and Avs, has there been a series that the team that won, you thought that, yep, they just won the cup before the Stanley Cup Finals?
I mean, I don't think that happens now. Not like it used to. I do remember a time where we used to think, well, whoever comes out of the West is going to win. Unless it was the Devils coming out of the East, but anybody else we didn't have a lot of faith in. I don't think that's happened for a long time. Although 2015, the Rangers Tampa one felt like a Stanley Cup final. Chicago still beat Tampa in the final.
Do you think there should be fewer TV timeouts during each period?
I'd love it if there was, but with economics being as they are, it's not going to happen.
Cyclone Taylor career video next. Just for the name alone.
I could do a video on Cyclone Taylor. Oh, I need more sleep. But yeah, I could do a video on him. That'd be relatively fun because, of course, he was a Vancouver star and he was a PCHA star who because of the NHL being the NHL, Cyclone Taylor not in the history books and all that is too bad.
What are we having for dinner? I haven't really thought about it. And
I'm just snacking.
I'm a mean mom, and I have a rule that if my kids haven't cleaned the kitchen, I'm not making dinner. And they have not cleaned the kitchen. So I might not have to make them food.
And then they just make themselves craft dinner.
And then they have craft dinner.
Yeah.
So maybe nothing. If I do make dinner, maybe I'll make like noodle salad or something because it's pretty
So this
hot.
is just endless dog videos.
It's perfect.
It's just weird.
How many different colors of eyeglasses do I have? Colors or how many different pairs of eyeglasses? Because colors, I don't have that many colors.
Like 4 or 5 colors.
Yeah.
Numbers of eyeglasses.
Red,
she's got
pink, purple, blue, and black.
You see my jerseys, right? Just picture that with eyeglasses.
Not even close.
That's Yvonne.
Not even close.
And then necklaces, rings. Like it's basically her bathroom is like Sims. So when you're adding accessories to your Sims character, that's her bathroom.
Not true.
So many necklaces, rings, earrings.
Not true.
Glasses. She even does like the Sims music for when you're picking. She plays that on her phone while she's getting herself made up while talking in Simish. Weird. So it is weird.
He's such a dork. No, that's not true. Can you do a career video of Andrei Markov?
I know I was looking at Markov at one point. I absolutely can. I'm going to be doing some career videos and some of the Hall of Famers from many, many years gone by during the history series. But yeah, Markov, absolutely. Remember, I'm going to be pre-recording a bunch of videos for while we're on vacation in August. So there'll be career videos and stuff like that showing up then, especially.
Do you think McDavid is on pace to break Gretzky's all-time points record?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him to put up the kind of points against Florida that he's been putting up to this stage of the playoffs. I don't think he gets to Gretzky's mark, and I don't think he cares if he gets to Gretzky's mark. I think he wants that cup ring. So I would not be surprised to see Florida keep him in check and maybe, let's say, 6 games in the series, maybe he only records 5 or 6 points. That wouldn't surprise me.
Have you ever been to a BCHL game?
Yep. I went to Chiefs games dating back to when I was a teenager. And then Chilliwack Bruins games as well during that time when they were in the WHL. But yeah, Chilliwack Chiefs, I watched their games for years.
Is curling popular in Canada?
Yep.
Yes. Curling is great.
I've watched curling dating back to when I was a little kid too. I've always preferred the women's curling over the men's. The men's curling is a lot of it's just straight takeouts. I find there's a little more finesse with the women's game than the men's, although both are watchable.
I've always liked curling. I really liked it when I was little too. Curling's great. I've wanted to go curling. We have a curling rink here in Abbotsford.
I had one time where
that would be so fun.
There was one time where I was sick with the flu, and TSN was showing the Scotties, and that's all I watched. For 2 days, that was all that was on my TV was the Scotties. So he kicked that in. That shouldn't count. Give them little hockey sticks.
Do you know what this means? Next team before the 30s? Oh, will we get a new team before the 30s? I'm going to guess is what that question means.
I think 2030 is probably the right timeline if they're going to do an expansion. I think Houston may very well be next, which is part of the reason why I added a new magnet. Just yesterday I cut this out, so I have a Houston made and good to go. Yeah, so just in case, I'm all set. And then Atlanta, I already have a bunch of Atlanta.
Any chance we ever get a great playoff series video of Wings as 2002? I'm personally biased, but I truly feel that is what playoff hockey should be.
Which one did I do for 2002? I was doing the great playoff series videos. The problem was they just did not get views. So I would spend all kinds of time putting those boards together and then upload the video, and it might get 1/10 of the views that something else I just threw together spur of the minute got. So if I thought they'd draw, I'd do something on that. I was even trying to do rivalry videos, and rivalry videos didn't do that well either. But I will be doing more of the historical stuff during the summer, so that will definitely get covered on some level.
Is Shannon a big dork, and why? Well, yeah, you guys have seen his videos, so pretty self-explanatory.
You haven't even seen me at Disneyland either.
It's great. What is your favorite dog breed?
Oh,
a good dog.
I
don't
growing up, I almost always had Shelties, but I like sheepdogs. I always wanted a Basset Hound because of the way they bark and their ears flop, and it's more of a hoof noise than an actual bark. I think they're great. So when I was at I went to a dog show when I was a kid, and there was a Basset Hound named Rufus. That is the greatest name for a dog, and I'd go over and see him, and I'd give him little pets through the bars. He was such a sweet puppy. He got like 2nd or 3rd place in his group, and I was like, this is screwy. He's got to be number 1. Look at this magnificent creature. whole day just sitting there, just looking out through his dead eyes. It was great.
Do you have any desire to go watch a college hockey game live in the States?
It becomes a matter of travel and just having the time for that. I absolutely would, but it's a matter of time and figuring out how I'm going to do all the rest of the stuff I normally do on the day-to-day. So it's tricky for me from that standpoint.
Is it true that lacrosse is as popular as hockey in Canada?
No, but lacrosse
It is very
has
popular.
been the national sport in Canada, and it's more likely if you're in junior high or high school now to play lacrosse than floor hockey.
I was gonna say for kids, it's really common for kids to play lacrosse.
Yeah.
There is professional lacrosse that's quite popular.
And lacrosse is if you're a good lacrosse player,
popular.
It's
for,
easy
like,
to
adults to watch.
port that over to hockey, as long as you're also a good skater. There are a lot of guys who've played in the NHL that were also very good at lacrosse. Lacrosse teaches a really good hand-eye coordination, so it absolutely, the skill in lacrosse can translate to hockey well.
And we have lacrosse courts at parks.
Yeah, everywhere. The one we play at in Coquitlam is the lacrosse court.
They used to have net. They don't have the nets. There's another lacrosse court not too far away that has
the tiny nets,
and it has the boards,
the metal back nets.
Yeah.
Where sometimes we're like, did that go in? I don't know. It just bounced right back off, and it's like, did that the crossbar or the net? I don't know. Maybe the net.
Would a second team in Toronto compare to a 33rd city?
A second team in Toronto would be a guaranteed sellout. It absolutely could work. I just don't think it's ever going to happen because you're not creating new fans. You're just basically giving more of an allowance to Toronto people to buy tickets for a team. I don't think it ever happens, but it absolutely would work.
Do you think Marner would actually be open to leaving the Leafs via trade? Wouldn't he be smart enough to realize it isn't working in Toronto?
It depends. The best way Toronto would go about it would be to go to him and say, look, we're thinking about making a move here. And then they'd have to go back to him and say, these are the teams that are calling us. Are you interested in going to any of these teams? And then go from there. Players generally will not stay somewhere that they're not. I think not wanted is a strong term, but if a team's looking to make a change, I think players will help them with that. They just want to say in where they go.
We did see you at Disneyland. That It's a Small World video was great. I couldn't have planned that if I tried. That was
great.
So
that
funny.
was awful. I have not been back on that ride since.
It's true.
And I'm not going there in August either.
It's true.
She can go on it by herself. I'm not going.
15 minutes of air conditioning.
You did go on it by yourself
I
last
did.
year, didn't you?
I did. And I was with this couple that was from Oregon, and we agreed that was a really nice ride to go on to get cooled down because it's air conditioned in that whole thing. And it's 15 minutes of you getting to sit in the shade in air conditioning
while being tortured by the worst song in the history of mankind.
I like that ride. I think it's cool looking at all their costumes and stuff. But
I don't realize how much of a giant Shadow is until I see him on camera.
He's a huge cat. What team do you think makes a big trade? I'm hearing Buffalo and a lot of rumors.
Buffalo's going to be in a lot of rumors because they want to make the playoffs and they have a ton of cap space. Plus, with Owen Power being due and Byram, and you've got too many defensemen making too much money because Darlene's making a ton. So it makes sense that Buffalo's in a lot of rumors.
What is your favorite scene in The Room?
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. I've
Shannon quotes that movie all the time.
Oh, hi, Mark.
The time.
If anybody's named Mark, that's right away. Oh, hi, Mark. I kind of wish that your name was Mark sometimes. So oh, hi, Mark.
No.
And then I got to throw a bottle every now and then. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
You are my favorite hockey personality. Love your objectivity. Thanks for all your effort. Hashtag Leafs fan. Hashtag THG.
Thank you very much.
Tell your cat I say mew.
No, he says mew a lot. He's a very needy cat.
We have a few really needy cats.
He is the only cat, and it happened twice over the last week, that all of a sudden he'll start meowing, and I know it's because he had a bad dream, and he wakes up looking for me. So I call out to him, I give him a pet, and he's okay, but he has a bad dream and he needs his dad. So it's the only cat I've ever had that does that.
I've watched the It's a Small World video on mute.
I wish I could have experienced it muted. Might have been a little better, but I'm not going on it again. In fact, the time we went after that, I didn't even go to that area very much because the music is everywhere in that area. It's just it's insane.
To go through there to get to Toontown. No, if we went to a playoff game or any game, we would not throw things on the ice. No, we would not, because that's kind of a jerk thing to do.
The thing I can't get over either is that with the Edmonton games, they've been throwing Alberta beef on the ice. That has to be so expensive.
I know that big piece. We saw that.
If you want to throw beef, I will take it, and you can pretend it hit the ice. Don't mail me beef. But it's so expensive. And I see that, and especially when it's just like a big cut of beef, I'm like, oh man, I could make so many steaks with that, because I worked as a meat cutter briefly during my time at the plant, and there's so many steaks you could make with that. I don't like, if you're gonna throw Alberta beef, I don't know, just get like a tag or something.
Stew meat's pricey now.
I wouldn't be throwing stew meat.
Stupid.
Just a whole tray of stew meat. And once again, the Oilers fans blowing chunks all over the ice in support of their team. All kinds of meaty little chunks all over the ice. Well, it's going to take them a little while to clean this up, so we're going to go to commercial.
That's no. Stew beef is stupidly expensive, right?
It is insane. I was going to buy her stew beef like a couple weeks ago because I was doing online shopping. I was like,
we saw the price. I was like, no, that's dumb.
Because when I worked at,
what's the point then?
When I worked at Vantage, like it was like $6 for what is now $20. I was like, $20 for stew beef is ridiculous.
Dumb.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Do you have a WHL Portland Winterhawks jersey?
No. And when they did the rebrand and the change their look, I really do want one of those. That'd be great.
Remember the good old days when Vadim Sipichov was supposed to save Vegas?
That was in their first year. Sipichov was interesting because he came in with some hype, and then he went out with none. And it fell apart. Everybody blamed Vegas. It was, oh yeah, Vegas isn't playing him. They shouldn't. He's really good. He's really talented. And then they kind of shopped his rights around, and nobody wanted him. And then he went home.
After all Keith did in the NHL, it's about time we see the Tkachuk name on the cup.
Keith would have had a better shot at the cup if he didn't he get one? No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Didn't he get one no, I'm trying to, who is it with Carolina? Because it was Doug Waite. There were two rentals. Was it Stillman that was the rental? No, Stillman wasn't a rental in Carolina. But Keith Tkachuk spent a lot of his career with Arizona, which didn't help his cup odds. But he also had time in St. Louis. It was Doug Waite that went from St. Louis.
Glad to hear you found some Jif peanut butter. We did.
Absolutely did. And I got her the dark roast.
Yeah. It's delicious.
Yeah, she's happy.
It's great.
I don't eat peanut butter. My body doesn't like it, but she's happy.
Peanut butter's great.
Yep.
Love the shirt, Shannon. Looking sharp.
Yeah, I had to get this one after we saw the movie because I laughed so hard when I saw this in the theater. I was like, that is fantastic. And every now and then I'll use that phrase. I am Knuff.
Does Shannon still use Cameo? He is still on Cameo.
I am still on Cameo.
Yeah,
I have two requests that I need to fulfill. So if you submitted one of those requests, apologies, I will get on that.
He will do it. He's good.
Yes.
He's good at getting them done.
Yes.
What do you think of the Chicago White Sox 15 games lost
in a row? I mean, it's baseball. So the good news is a 15-game losing streak is the equivalent of about a 7.5-game losing streak in the NHL. It's recoverable, but yeah, the one baseball team that I try to follow. I mean, I have the Padres that I cheer for, and then of course the Jays, who I got the beautiful City Connect jersey for. But the Jays are having their struggles. I'm surprised that Biggio's been garbage, but anyways,
for this Puppy Stanley Cup, they were showing those guys talking way too much. There should have been more dogs.
Because dogs don't play
less
hockey.
People. But there's a whole bunch of dogs running around playing with the toys. Show that, not the guys sitting there talking about them. That's silliness.
Well, because they've got to make it like America's Funniest Home Videos, where they keep showing the host when none of us had any interest in watching the host. Like, and the worst part was
make the
Bob
show
Saget.
cheaper.
Bob Saget was funny when he was doing the Blue comedy. And of course, you can't do that on America's Funniest Home Videos, so you just get lame, vanilla Bob Saget. His funniest stuff, though, his Aristocrats joke was top notch.
Pass.
Yeah, you wouldn't like the Aristocrats.
I saw an Ottawa Senators jersey for sale with the name and number saying Senators and 11 for one of the years the old Senators, won the cup. A foul is Millionaires and 15 on a Canuck jersey 1-2.
There are Sens fans I've had this ongoing debate with about whether or not the previous history is still the current Ottawa Senators history. So for that, I'll say, all right, if they want to do that, fine. No, the Canucks can't claim Millionaires, although I've used that as an argument too with, okay, so if Ottawa Senators is Ottawa Senators, then if the Canucks change their name to Millionaires, can they put up a banner? Can the Metropolitans, if Seattle changed their name to that, could they put up a banner as well? Because they won a Stanley Cup too. But yeah, it would be a huge jersey foul if a Canuck fan did that. Would I be surprised if anybody did it? No. But they did have the Millionaires jersey they used as a third. You could absolutely put Cup 15 on there for that one.
I have some Millionaires.
That'll probably be all right.
I have the jersey, and then I have a Millionaires
The Canucks
jacket.
will never use Millionaires again. Never. They didn't win a game when they wore that jersey. They'll never wear it again.
Life story, please. An Allmark trade.
Allmark's probably getting moved this summer. Be very surprised if he doesn't. I did get kind of into some life story stuff in the video I did on the Entertainment Guy this week about the movie If. I went to see that. She was okay on it. So that was it definitely had an impact on me. I was trying to make sure she didn't see that it was having an impact on me.
Whatever.
So the movie went along.
Whatever.
Just some of it hit kind of close to home for me towards the end of it. And I was like, this is being kind of mean.
I knew it would. Because I know you really well. Have you seen the movie Strays?
No, not yet. Oh, Yvonne, who is Jen dressed like from one of the
I can't even see.
The judge from the Canadian baking show. Isn't that an outfit that she wore once?
Totally would be like that, but she doesn't usually wear the jackets.
But the floral
Definitely.
And that color, that lavender color, I can totally see that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's worn that at some point.
Something similar. Don't stress jersey fouls. Have fun as a fan.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're paying a stupid amount of money. Do whatever you want.
At some point in time, I went, you know what? It's fine. Unless you're putting Gretzky's name and number on like a Buffalo jersey or something silly like that. And even then, if you paid for it, all right, you got a one-of-a-kind jersey that
just know people
doesn't
may
make a lot of
at
sense.
you.
Yeah. But I started putting my name on the back of jerseys because I was like, the heck with it. It's fine.
Are there any UFOs and aliens in Abbotsford?
I am not aware of any alien or UFO sightings in the Fraser Valley in my lifetime. There's been times where I've seen things in the sky, but it's usually either planes at a pretty high height so you can't hear them, or satellites. I've had that debate with people when satellites are moving across the sky.
Have you ever seen the map of where
or the ISS
of where there are UFO sightings?
It's almost all states.
Yeah.
And it's certain states.
It's really funny.
Really concentrated in. A lot of the time it's just military testing things that people don't recognize, so they report it. The SR-71 Blackbird, there were tons of UFO sightings with that, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's our new plane. Sorry.
Oh, well then skip. There we go. Which players will drop the gloves first? Bennett is the obvious choice, but I think Leon will pile drive Matt early on.
I don't think we're going to see a fight in the final. It's very, very rare that it happens. If it happened, I would think maybe Evander Kane for the Oilers. For Florida, it'd be Lomberg if he got into the lineup. I think it would be Lomberg.
Who takes the vacated A from Joe Pavelski?
I'd give it to Robo. I'd give it to Robertson because I think you're building your future around him. So, yeah, I'd give it to Robertson. Or, I mean, Heiskanen's already got an A, so I'd go with Robertson.
Will Winnipeg move back to Atlanta?
No. They want expansion money. Nobody else is moving. They want expansion money. That's why the move of the Arizona Coyotes to the Salt Lake area involved a large amount of money being spent by Ryan Smith. They want the money.
When are you going to do a members live stream again?
We're talking about doing one for, I mean, we had talked about tomorrow, but now we got the meetup tomorrow.
Right.
It's always a matter of schedules that it seems like, oh, this is simple, then it's not. So maybe on Monday before game 2. I'll say Monday before game 2. Same time as this live stream for members and patrons. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can set that up.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yep.
If you like it.
Yep. Depends with what. I think as long as it's on a Hawaiian pizza where you're getting ham anyways, sure. If it's with pepperoni, you're weird and you should be probably
our daughter's
set
favorite
somewhere.
Pizza is ham and pineapple.
Yep.
That's your favorite.
And I've had pizza, especially with your diet. I've had pizzas where it's just cheese and pineapple, where I just had pineapple as the only topping, and it's just fine.
What is your favorite cup final in your lifetime?
It's hard to go against the 94 final with the Rangers and the Canucks, even though I didn't like the way that ended. The 84 final with the Oilers and the Islanders would be up there too. And 08-09 Detroit, Pittsburgh. Just the fact it was a rematch and Pittsburgh won the second one. That was so much fun. And honorable mention to 2015 Tampa Bay and Chicago.
Is Boston pizza overrated?
It's overpriced a bit, but it's not overrated. It's very good. It's just the price that causes me not to do it.
Which center do you think the Bruins should get to be the top line center?
There's a lot of smoke around the idea that they'll go after Lindholm. I don't know that there's a number one center available via trade market or as a free agent. So I think for what they're doing right now, I think Poitras may very well develop into a top line center for them. But it's probably going to be committee again, like it was this past season. But if they got Lindholm, that would help a lot.
Panthers can't skate. Have you ever seen cats on ice? They just fall down.
Depends on the cats. It does. Shadow's a pretty good skater. I've taken him out a couple of times. He's not bad. He's pretty good. Bear's useless. She just wants to be carried, and when she's got the little blades on her skates and she wants to get over your shoulders, scary. Dangerous.
What if John Taffer and Tortsco owned a bar? That would be terrible. I'd like to want to go there.
I'd like to see Taffer doing like color commentary on hockey. That'd be just great. Just him yelling and screaming about getting the puck out of the corner and
so much yelling.
Yeah.
Be all the yelling.
Yeah, Taffer's hilarious.
Shannon and Yvonne, I am hungry before the game. What food should I order?
For watching during a hockey game, I like pizza because you can eat it at your own pace. Chinese food can be good for that too. Yeah, especially if it's a group setting, you can get some Chinese food and sort of make a little buffet out of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
How is the weather there right now? Pretty toasty.
It's not bad.
It's pretty toasty. It's toasty for May.
Yeah.
But it's only
May,
for
a few.
June. I meant June. Oh, it's June. I meant June.
But June 7th, wasn't that the day like 15 years ago that it was 39 degrees here?
Stupid.
I worked at 7-Eleven that day, and people came in and were yelling at me because the Slurpee machine was broken. I was like, because it's 40 degrees outside. How do you think the Slurpee machine's going to work?
I was pregnant with Adelaide, it was stupid hot. It was unusually hot that summer.
Can't believe the Slurpee machine's broken.
So uncomfortable.
I can.
Yeah, I just remember being really hot that summer.
But everybody wants a Slurpee. That's why the machine's broken. So thanks for coming in. You yelling at me's definitely helped fix the machine.
It's 9 degrees in Alberta, in South Alberta. Wasn't it hot? Wasn't it just hot,
it was
in
hot
Alberta
last week.
too? Okay. Because we've been getting the crazy weather where it's really cold and then it gets really hot and then it gets really cold. It's crazy. It makes it so our daughter is in forest school and she never knows how she needs to dress. Does she need to bring a big winter coat? Does she need to bring all like rain gear?
Yeah.
Or
Shorts
tank top?
and a t-shirt. Yep.
Is Forsling going to have
Block shots.
blocked shots tonight?
Yeah, of course. Going to be a lot of shot blocking. I expect this is probably going to be, I don't want to say low event, but I don't think that with the amount of energy these teams are going to have out of the gate, I don't think we're going to see a ton of scoring opportunities this first period. I think we'll have a feeling out process. And if you look at both teams throughout the playoffs, they're really good at shot suppression. So could be an interesting one.
40 Celsius would be about 5 degrees. 40 Celsius. Other way, 5 degrees Fahrenheit is 5 degrees Celsius is 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
No. Because.
Yes.
Okay, but 40 degrees Celsius is about 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
40 is stupid hot.
Yeah,
30
it's about
is
120.
30 degrees is 90 Fahrenheit. So really hot. So here it being 26.
Okay, so like 110, 115.
Stupid hot, which is about
But we just don't get
80.
That. And then you've got the humidex. So the humidity makes it warmer.
Super humid.
So we have days where it's 30, but it feels like 36, that kind of thing. But we're used to that kind of heat. So when we go out into like California or Nevada, we're like, this is ridiculous. Even though the temperature might be the same. I learned that last year with California. I cannot trust the temperatures to feel the same. So if it's 25 or 26 in Anaheim when we're down there, to me, it's going to feel like it's about 32.
Which is so weird. Yeah, 25 here is really, really nice.
Yep.
But it's very humid where we live.
Yeah, discovered that last summer where the temperatures were the same.
Land.
Did not feel the same at all. Dry heat's better. Not if you're not used to it, it's not.
Is Canada really rooting for Edmonton?
No.
A lot of people are.
A lot of people are, but there are definitely some fans that are anybody but Edmonton. There's definitely, and it's not just Canuck fans. There are definitely some fans that are like, well, my team can't win, neither can they. Man, so I don't really care who wins at this point. I'm fine either way. I do need that 2024 Cup final patch, though. I need 2 of them. I want one for my Florida jersey and one for Edmonton.
But I know a lot of people that are rooting for Edmonton, even though they're definitely not Edmonton fans.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's definitely happening, but it's not like the whole country's united behind the. Nah. We don't work that way. But it's not like Americans unite behind one team either. It's weird.
Well, when you have players from all over the world.
Yep. There's 12 Canadians on the Florida Panthers. Not as many as Edmonton, but definitely some Canadians there.
Seattle has a banner honoring the 1917 Metropolitans. There we go. Does Vancouver hang a banner honoring the 1915 millionaires? Did you see the Bedard Stars jersey?
I didn't see a Bedard jersey. We don't have a banner for the
millionaires jersey or banner.
We don't have one.
There's not tons of banners, like random banners.
Nope.
Some teams like to have lots of banners.
Nashville.
That was so funny.
That one year with Nashville where they put up all the banners.
We need a banner for
this. 2018.
Banner
all the banners.
I remember that. That was funny. I'm mad at Edmonton ever since they threw stuff on the ice at the start of the season.
I can't say anything. Vancouver fans have thrown things on the ice multiple times. Boston fans throw things on the ice a lot. It's honestly, it's becoming, I think, more and more common with sports. I would never do it, but it feels like it's becoming more and more common. It's like the 70s and the 80s coming back all over again.
How will the reffing be this series?
You know, it's funny. I haven't had any really egregious complaints about the refereeing, but I guarantee that in the comment section below, underneath any playoff game ever, the comment section, and I mean, you go back to 2016 on this channel, 2017 on this channel, you're going to find, well, the refs screwed us. It's every game, all the time, always. So, I'll watch a game and be like, oh, that was a pretty good game. And then I look at the comments like, oh, apparently it was a terrible game and the referees completely screwed that team over. So it's weird. They got outshot 32-4, but I guess they played really well and the referees made them only have 4 shots.
Stop.
What did you do?
It's not
What are you
moving.
doing?
There we go. Canadians want the cup back so long as it's not Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, Winnipeg, Vancouver, or Edmonton who win it.
Kenora Thistles for the win. That's it. Bring back the Kenora Thistles. Have them challenge for the cup. All set.
Are we going to go to a Utah game next season?
We'd have to make a trip to Utah in the middle of the winter. I don't know that I can sell my wife on that.
I don't plan on going to Utah.
Oh, we will. We'll go to Utah.
If we wanted to take a trip to go to any arena, Utah would not be at the top of the list.
Sure. You know what we could do? We could go to Edmonton and then Utah and then Winnipeg. We could do that for like our next vacation. 2 days in each town.
In the winter?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds delightful.
We could just say, you know what? We're not going to take a trip down south. We're not going to do that. We'll just go across the country.
Okay, I'll go to Disneyland. You do that. In February. You should take a trip to Montreal for Four Nations.
See, but then on Upload, Nathan wanted to go to Montreal and had a terrible time of it. So, not because he wanted to go to Montreal, but still, terrible time of it.
When was the butterfly normalized? Raw's 1993 win.
Raw definitely normalized it, but the fact that it seemed like every goalie coming out of Quebec was playing that style, and Quebec-born goalies basically ran the league for a while there. And then it's a copycat league, so other goalies are playing that same style. It definitely Raw made it so that stand-up goaltenders looked terrible, because stand-up goalies just don't make those diving plays. So you could have a really basically bad night as a butterfly goaltender, but you're making all these acrobatic moves and it looks like you did everything possible to stop the goals. Whereas a stand-up goalie doesn't look as good because he kind of kicks a leg out and then it goes in. And it's, why doesn't he dive like the other guy does? So, yeah.
Would you ever go to a watch party during a away playoff game in the Canucks arena?
I don't think I'd enjoy that. I enjoy being in the room here and watching the games. I don't know. Playoffs for me have always been kind of a personal thing. I've never done watch parties.
I have. They're fun.
I did one watch party in 94 and I wasn't invited back because I think I was too even-handed. And then, it's 94. I was 21, so they're showing the crowd, and I was like, hey, there's a really good-looking girl wearing a Rangers jersey there. Maybe I root for the Rangers as a joke. And the young lady who was throwing the party almost kicked me out. I was like, I'm just kidding. You can't say things like that. I'm like, but I wasn't serious. I'm not going to cheer for the Rangers now. So weird.
What if Vancouver drafts 3 guys named Jim?
Jim?
They'd have to be on a line together.
Jim? That'd be great. You know what's interesting too is all 3 of the gyms, hockey players. All 3 of the gyms are absolutely hockey players. That's what I like with Shorzy. They are actual hockey players.
Live streams are kind of watch parties, but everybody gets to stay home. There you go.
Yeah, true.
It's totally different. I've been to watch parties. They're really fun.
And tomorrow, if we do a live stream during the street hockey game, you guys can watch as I get gassed. Guys run past me or around me, and then I blow my hip out. So, it's going to be fun. Took me a week to get over it the last time, so I'm going to try to go a little bit easier on the hip this time.
Canucks Sabres Cup Final 2026, Battle of 1970.
It would be the first Stanley Cup Final that was canceled because nobody could win. Or they're just like, that's it. Neither of these teams are allowed to win. Buffalo and Vancouver, this is an embarrassment. Just stops.
Looking forward to some good hockey. The series seems like best on best to me. Amazing players competing for Lord Stanley's Cup. Let the game begin.
Yep, it's going to be fun to watch.
This is my dream come true. Cup finals. Do you remember me asking you about this matchup 2 months ago? I do. I remember that comment.
I think it's going to be a fun one. And again, I mean, do I wish it was Dallas and Boston? Of course. But is that going to happen? Maybe when they find actual living unicorns somewhere on an island somewhere, preferably with leprechauns and fairies. I think there's just as much likelihood of those things happening. So, yeah, this is fine.
Will you do a meetup in Italy for the 2026 Winter Olympics?
Frick, I wish.
Man,
that'd be great.
You guys think our travel budget and travel time is way more than reality.
That'd be awesome.
That would be fantastic.
Let's go to Italy.
But yeah, our time and finances and children do not.
Oh, we're not taking the kids to Italy.
Right, but we still have to do something with them. You couldn't just leave them.
We've got neighbors. Home. We can just go over to each house in the neighborhood and go, look, we're leaving.
Make sure the house doesn't burn
just
down.
Just keep an eye on this house over here. Thanks.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Cup finals patches on the wrong side for Florida.
Probably because of the ads. That's usually been the case lately. I hate it. I don't like it.
Last year we were talking about that.
Yeah. Wait till at some point in time they have ads on both sides and the patch goes on the shoulder. That's where it ends up at some point.
Kids can take care of themselves. Yeah.
They're adults.
That's a nice thought.
Just kids are adults.
They're not.
So, you know.
The cats can take care of the kids. That's more accurate than the kids.
I don't know. I think the rabbits would do a better job taking care of the kids than the cats would. I think the rabbits would do a better job.
You think so?
Yeah. So they've got this Verbo commercial, and they show like this couple at a B&B, and the old guy says mother is buried in the yard and asks if they're scared of ghosts. I would love for that to be a real B&B, and every time the commercial's on, I tell her I want to go there. I want to have endless conversations with this old man who has a haunted house with mother buried in the backyard. I want information. I know it's just a commercial. I know it's not a real scenario. But that looks so much better than this whole, you have the whole house to yourself. Oh, well, la-di-da. I want to talk to the old guy about his mother being buried in the yard and the ghosts.
Do the rabbits and cats ever fight? No.
Nah. Every now and then the cats will swat at the rabbits. But
sometimes the rabbits smack the cats.
Yeah.
If they're in their way. Or
yeah. Cinnabons put the run on Bear a few times. Because Bear's where she doesn't want her to be. Rabbits are very particular. You belong here. You belong there. Took a while for either Licorice or Cinnabon to be okay with me laying down in bed when I go to sleep. Licorice gets really mad. Like, you don't lay down. In fact, in here, if I sit down, he comes over and looks at me like, you don't do that. You need to stand up.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Will you make a video series about the history of the old Soviet Union hockey team?
As I go through the history of the NHL, there will be some natural crossovers into international hockey, like the 72 Super Series, and then the subsequent series that don't get any attention. So the Soviets will definitely be in part of that as well.
Do you have a Bobby Clark Flyers jersey?
I do, actually. I do. I have a Bobby Clark Flyers jersey. I got that one from the Van City. The Van City site. Yeah, I do have a Bobby Clark.
Your videos help me get into hockey. Thank you so much.
No problem.
There you go. And keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
Would Harold Ballard have been best friends with Eddie Livingstone?
No. I think they would have butted heads just because both of them were insufferable. And in my experience, when you have two people that are really difficult to get along with, they don't usually get along with each other either. It's one of my favorite things is when two people that are like that meet each other and then both privately say, oh, that guy's a jerk. You know, that guy's a real jerk. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just that guy, though, not you. Got it.
Could we have an end zone camera option for TV broadcasts in the near future? I think it's better than the traditional camera for hockey.
I do think that the NHL, as time goes by, I think we'll see them messing around with camera angles at least a bit. I think at some point too, we may have options as fans where maybe there'll be a service where you choose your camera angle that you want to watch from. I think you had live
Wouldn't it
streams
be
like that
nice
decades
to have
ago.
one that was just the arena sounds and not the
announcers,
commentators and stuff?
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
I would enjoy that. In some situations, I would absolutely love that, to be honest.
You
But
don't want to hear all their side stories and.
Nope. I don't care what happened when you were in Pittsburgh in 1996. And I don't really care that they went to high school with each other and now they're like enemies, but they're kind of like this guy's sister married that guy's. Like, I don't care. So like, yeah, a commentatorless version where you could choose camera angles, that'd be great.
First fix the blackout issues, then cameras. True.
With the regional network problems that have been going on, hopefully that is addressed as well. Yeah.
If you could do a rebrand for a franchise, which one would you do?
Well, the Ducks have got one coming. The Kings have one coming. Outside of that, I don't know that anybody needs a rebrand. You can't touch Islanders because we know what you end up with. You end up with the Fishermen. I wasn't a huge fan of the Sens going back to their old logo. I thought it would have been fun to see the Sens do something brand new and something different. But I know Sens fans are a big fan of what they have. I wouldn't mind seeing Tampa Bay come up with something brand new, totally different look. I think that would be great for Tampa, just because their color is Toronto and their jersey is Detroit.
Shannon, you should take Yvonne to a NASCAR race for her birthday. That would be great. That would not be
Let's
great.
do that. That would be awesome. We could go to Vegas during Formula One. And instead of walking around the strip,
disappointing.
You could just sit and watch a car race. And then I could point where Paris is and I could point where everything is.
That would be so sad.
And we could almost watch the Bellagio fountains, but not really. Be great.
No, it's not my birthday. My birthday's in March.
Yep.
There was a time in the 70s when there was a lot of loafing, slow play. Am I right?
Hockey was a completely different sport than what it is now. And the way the rules were, it was easier for a slower player to keep up, especially once you got to the late 90s. And again, it is just completely different than what it was.
What is that?
What's with the white backdrop for these player interviews? Are they in like...
That looks like one of those where
looks like they're in witness protection.
Yeah, I was just going to say where you're not supposed to know who it is.
Like, why? Why are you conducting interviews where it's just this blank white canvas behind them? It makes like you look like you could just like put like a black dot over his face and make his voice all garbled. So like, which Oiler is this? So we can't show you because this is controversial. Why?
F1 goes like this: vroom, 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 vroom. Occasional pause, vroom, vroom.
And if you watch it from the wrong angle, you will get sued by F1 because they're very, very picky about who gets to watch and from where.
Did you watch the Panthers versus Stallions game earlier today?
I mean, I watched the Stanley Pop. That's the only thing I saw today was the Stanley Pop.
I don't know what sport that is, so sorry. What does Canada need to do to pump out more goalies into the NHL? Goaltending is in decline from Canada.
It's an issue Hockey Canada is aware of, and over the last couple of years, they've started to work on fixing that problem with the goaltending. It is going to take a while because if you're training up goaltenders, you're looking at probably 5 to 10 years from now before you start to see that at the National Hockey League level. So it's just going to take time.
Stanley Pup, what's that? Recap when?
I don't even know how I would recap that. There's a bunch of dogs and they play,
cute,
bite at each other,
dogs.
And there's announcers telling like Family Matters kind of jokes.
Skipped him.
I didn't even have to hear any of it. Like I didn't have to hear the commentary to know it was very ABC TGIF Friday kind of commentary.
Yeah, financial cost for goalies is so expensive.
Yes. But it's a matter too of it hasn't been prioritized in Canada the way that it has in other countries. And it shows up at the NHL level where there's not very many good, really, really good Canadian goaltenders. But that is going to change.
Which one of your cats deserves the Conn Smythe?
For MVP, Shadow and Bear are close because they're in here the most to watch the games with me. I'd say it has to go to Bear, though, because Shadow's more of a roamer. He roams around the house and then comes back. Bear's just kind of in here with me.
It's true.
Because I'm her dad. So,
what kind of tea do I have today? It's called Coco Colada. It's really good.
My tea is a Coke Zero.
It's not tea.
Yeah, it's a Coke Zero.
After this, I need to make some more tea. I make it in the fridge. So then I have a pitcher of iced tea.
But we do have to get going. The game's getting started here. And you know who else Jennifer Botterill looks like tonight? Janet.
Oh.
Yes. She is dressed like Janet.
Yeah,
different color with the lavender, but she's Janet from The Good Place.
True.
She absolutely, that's the other one too, is Janet from The Good Place.
What's your opinion on the new Amazon show the people who made Drive to Survive is making about the NHL?
Should be great. Anytime that you have behind the scenes stuff on the NHL, it's usually quite good TV. So I'm looking forward to watching it. But at any rate, yeah, should get going. But take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. And may the best team win. And hopefully everybody thinks the refereeing was fantastic in tonight's game. I'm sure that'll happen.
Thanks.
All right. Take care. Thanks for coming out. We will do this again soon. And again, members and patrons will do this on Monday night at 4:00 my time. So there you go.